This is not to brag. The rumours are true. I am buying a yacht. Because it makes money, it's almost free, and I will own it outright in less than 2 years. Because of the way I structured this deal, the owner is financing up to 50% of the purchase price. In this episode, Ryan explains how he's buying a yacht that pays for itself by chartering it out at £1,000 a day to offset the cost. Millionaires do this with private planes and yachts. Let me show you how to buy trophy assets that pay for themselves, making them almost free. Visit www.propertycrashcourse.com to learn more. It's 100% free.
Good morning, podcasters. I hope everybody is well. Let's get straight into this. This is a short, snappy episode, not to boast, not to brag. It's to show you what's possible when you understand how to leverage finance, how to capitalize on some vendor finance, and how to capitalize on the problems and challenges and uncertainty that's happening right now in the world, not the UK, not America, not Canada, in the fucking world, which is the largest transfer of wealth that's happening right now. Okay, so I'm looking for a yacht right now. I'm not talking a super yacht. I'm not talking a £1 billion yacht or anything like that. I'm talking about a decent yacht, which is probably in the region of $500,000 to $1 million new. It's a very good size yacht, around about 40 feet. And, you know, buying it used, buying it second hand. I'm talking in the region of about 130 to 150, 160k, okay? A very decent, around 40-foot yacht. 2 bedrooms, possibly 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, possibly 3. You can get 12 people on there, okay? Why am I looking at a yacht? Not to boast, not to brag, not to show off, not for the fucking Instagram pictures. For fucking money, to make money, and have a quality of life at the same time. Yes, we already own or lease or we've acquired multiple hotels during the pandemic. We have multiple properties, multiple rooms, etc. This is not to brag or to boast, but one small deal leads to the next deal. That gives you confidence. The next deal helps you level up to lead to the next bigger deal. You might go from a flat to a house. Might go from a house to a block of flats. Might go from a block of flats to a guest house or a small hotel. Might go from a small hotel to a big hotel. Then you go from hotels, then you go to yachts, and you go to boats, then you go to airplanes and helicopters and everything else that comes with it. So one level gives you the confidence to get to the next level. Do you know what I mean? Do you guys understand what I'm talking about? Okay. So we've been there, done that, got the hotels, got the properties, got the HMOs, got the T-shirts, got the studio flats, got the houses, got the HMOs, got the blocks of flats, got the small hotels, got the guest houses, got the service apartments, got the big hotels, etc., etc. So where's the next thing? It's not just a trophy, even though it is a trophy. It's accommodation. We're still in the accommodation business, buying a yacht, okay? So let me explain what I mean by that. This yacht that I'm looking at, very serious that we're looking at right now, this particular one that we found, it has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, okay? You can sleep 5, maybe 6 people on there if you have children, across the 2 bedrooms and the lounge. It's got an internal lounge, 2 bedrooms downstairs, a kitchen, 2 bathrooms, so 2 en suites. It's got a barbecue area out the back on the deck. It hasn't got a fly bridge, this one, but it's got a big decking area, round table, round sofas at the back of the yacht, which is open just under the canopy, where you drive the boat, where the captain, me, Captain Otto, will sit. And you can get 8, maybe 10 people around there. And then you've got the back section where you can get, 1, maybe 2 more people. Then you've got the front of the boat where the girls, your partner, your wife, your family, your beautiful princess will be at the front of the boat, okay, sunbathing. Plenty of people can get on this yacht. It's around 40 feet. It's big, guys. Not entry level. It's big and it's wide, okay. Now, daytime, the plan is to charter this yacht out to generate some revenue. I don't know what properties that you guys have got or what business you're in, but where else can you get around £800 to £1,500 a day, not even for a full day, for somebody to use your asset? With a captain, of course, with a skipper. Where else can you get that? Let's say an average $1,000. Where else can you get $1,000 a day? An asset which costs around 140 grand. Where else can you get £1,000 a day on average? Let's think about that. £1,000 a day, even if it was for, I don't know, even if it was for 1 day a week, that's 52 grand back in a year. That's 52 grand back in a year. In 3 years, at 1 day a week, obviously there's running costs and everything else, so maybe add another day to that. A month to that. So let's just say you can get 50 odd grand back, so your asset paid for in 3 years. You buy a house, you get a mortgage, it's 25 fucking years, right? Then your house is paid off. The house is probably, or maybe, possibly, or maybe not, worth more money. And then that's where you've paid your mortgage off, okay? This yacht is around 140 odd grand. It will pay for itself within 2 to 3 years, just of chartering it out a day or two a week. A day or two a week, that's it. Now, what I've also managed to structure is some very unique creative finance. Now, when you understand to structure deals in this particular way, and guys, don't worry if you're thinking you're not in the market to buy a yacht, this is transferable, this skill, across whatever business you're in. Property, cars, assets, houses, hotels, boats, fucking airplanes, whatever assets you're looking at acquiring, this is transferable. It's very, very simple, but I don't want it to sound too simple. So I approached about 50 yacht owners, the boats that I liked. Out of the 50, I shortlisted the ones that I could see myself on, my family on, cruising around the French Riviera, having it moored in the Grand Harbour in Valletta in Malta or somewhere nearby, cruising across to France in the summer, cruising across to Italy, coming around Sicily, cruising across to Greece, and everything else all around the Mediterranean, okay? That's where you can go with a Maltese boat license, not an international license, okay?
If you're already shortletting on Booking.com or Airbnb and you're not generating $8,200 for your 3 beds, $6,200 for your 2 beds, or even $4,100 for your 1 beds each month, then oh my goodness, you're losing money every single month. Now, I created an ebook to show you exactly how we hit those numbers consistently in my business, and I want to give you a free copy so I can show you exactly how you can do the same. Just go to www.theyrentanyhome.com/free book and tell me where to send your copy. Does that make sense?
So I can see myself on it, my family on it, and it's an asset, it's a trophy, and it will pay for itself. So I shortlisted around about 50 yachts, okay, that would work. Out of those 50, probably narrowed the search down to about 20 that I would actually take on board, okay, that were in the price range, had the right spec, the right year, etc., the right location, everything else. Out of those 20, I emailed and messaged or called all of them with an outline of a proposal. And all it said was something along these lines. Dear Mr. Yacht Owner, whatever their name was, I'm in the market to purchase a yacht right now. Your yacht is in the range that I'm looking at, whilst I'm considering a couple more, okay? Very simple. This is what I propose. How do you feel about me buying the yacht from you, but putting 50% of the purchase price down as a deposit on the yacht, and then you letting me spread the remaining 50% balance over the next year or so? What do you think about that? Because if that could work for you, that works for me right now. I would like to come and see the yacht. That's it. That is it. Out of that, there were some brokers, okay? So some of the brokers weren't in a position to say yes, okay? So some of the brokers, who obviously want their own money like agents, just said, no, we only need the cash. Maybe they didn't even go back and approach the owner. Some of the brokers came back and said, let me talk to my client and I'll come back to you. Because they pose as if it's their yacht. You don't really know their brokers until you've inquired. And then you've inquired, then they come back, and then they can't answer that question because they're not the owner. Then they have to go and ask the owner. Okay? Some of them were direct with the owners. And they say no, or they don't reply, or they say yes, or they say, why don't you come and have a look at the boat, and then we can discuss it. If they're saying no, that's absolutely fine. On to the next one. If they don't reply, that's also absolutely fine. On to the next one. Or maybe they haven't seen it, so you could follow up with a couple more over the next few days. If they say yes, great, go and see the yacht. If they say, why don't you come and see the yacht and we can talk about it, that's also fantastic. Because they already know what you're proposing to do, and they're already potentially keen in the idea, knowing that you said you got half the money, you want to put half the money down, you come have a look at the boat. If everything works out, all you've got to do is work out the dates. I want to spread it over 1 year. I want to spread it over 2 years. I want to spread it over 3 years. Whatever works for them and you. The longer the better for me, so your money can go into many more deals. Okay? So all I'm looking at achieving, and yes, we went to have a look at 2 yachts over the weekend. The 2 that were one that we really, really want, and we looked at another one for comparables, okay? Took my partner with me, took lots of nice pictures, met the owner, met the broker, we became friends, and we're going to do some business together. Whether we take this yacht on board, we're just working out the details now, they asked for, well, let me tell you what they asked for. They actually came back and said, we'll take 90 grand now, and then we'll finance the balance over the next 12 months. Now, that would work for me, but of course, I don't want to really have 90 grand tied up now out of the season when it will start to produce about $1,000 a day from about March next year. So unless he can delay the first payment, okay, or all of the deposit, maybe he can take a smaller deposit, maybe 10 grand now on the balance of the 80 grand, in March. If he's happy to do that, fantastic, and I would do that. Okay, he's asked for it to be spread over 12 months. If I can spread it, I just want to spread the balance over a period that I know the chartering of the yacht will pay the vendor finance. So let's say you can make $1,000 a day. Let's say it's 2 days a week or 3 days a week, which is the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, let's just say. $1,000 covers all the expenses, the skipper in, the food, everything else that you can do with it, the marketing. And then there's $2,000 profit, let's just say. $2,000 profit is 24 grand a year. So let's say 24 grand a year, and I got a 50 grand balance. Obviously, I want to pay it over 2 years, which means the chartering of the yacht pays for the skipper in, pays for all the costs, pays for the harbour charges and the pontoon, pays for the fuel, pays for the servicing, pays for the anti-fouling and everything else that comes with it. Does this make sense? Are you guys following me? Okay, so all I really want to do now is massage the figures a little bit to get the 90 grand down on the front end and maybe increase the payments on the back end in line with how many days a week I think I can charter the yacht out and how much it will rent for. Very easy. There's websites which are like Airbnbs for yachts. You can go and have a look to see how much the fucking yachts rent for. Very simple, okay? So, straight away, we're into a deal, subject to everybody signing everything, into a deal for £140,000 yacht. 140k. We're not putting 140k down. They've asked for 90k. That's 50k off and financing the balance over the next 12 to 24 months. We only need to massage the figures a little bit to get the front end deposit down and maybe increase the monthly payments on the back end. Okay? That's it. This is a very, very, very clever way to structure finance. Very clever way. Any of you guys can do this on a property, on a boat, on a fucking helicopter, on a bloody aeroplane. Who needs to go to the bank for finance when there's motivated sellers that are flexible enough to do these types of deals as long as that one thing? You understand how this works and you ask the question, which is very simple. So I want you guys to think about any asset you're buying, what that would generate in revenue. Why not put a lower offer in, get the vendor to accept that offer so it's less money coming out of your pocket from the start, whatever cash pot you have, or you borrow it from somebody else, but the asset will pay the finance, the full finance, over the term. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Depends what type of deal you're structuring. This enables you to get into more deals. I've done this again with the hotel guys. I just bought another hotel, or I borrowed the money from somebody to give me around around £87,500. I borrowed that money from somebody, and all I'm doing is paying them back, that investor, over around 3 years, which is what profit the hotel is generating. That's it. So I'm into the deal for none of my own money. The hotel revenue that my company manages a hotel pays the investor the finance back and their return. So after 3 years, I'm completely clear. That's my hotel after 3 years. I don't know any money on it at all, and then it will be pure profit. I'll talk about that in another episode. In this episode, it's just to share with you guys how to structure deals in very creative ways, which are actually quite simple when you understand how, and you can get anything and everything that you want.
He's a #1 Amazon bestseller. He's an NLP manipulator. He's a property course seller. He's a Lamborghini driving multi-millionaire property guru. Forget that same old boring I am me narcissistic podcast format, because nobody gives a fuck. This podcast is all about you. So I'm taking these few seconds to thank you for subscribing, to thank you for leaving your 5-star reviews, and thank you for sharing this show with all of your friends. My team and I will keep bringing you these episodes and answering all of your burning questions in my Facebook community group called Property Crash Course. If you can just keep telling all of your friends about this show.